All right, so welcome to language log number 2. This is the first real update. In the first language log, I was mostly just showing you where I'm starting from, and this is the first one demonstrating progress. So I've been using the application a bunch. This is my heat map for the year. I missed one day, but every other day I've been spending at least 20, 30 minutes in the application, most days around an hour, 40 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes, somewhere in there. If we look into my time tracking for the season, this is almost 90 hours, so just under an hour a day. Spending most of my time in my major languages, and switching or steadily decreasing as we go down. Um, Japanese, I did a lot of work this quarter in Japanese, getting it to work, um, to improve it. And so there's a lot of time in there that was not study time. So it's actually probably closer to fourth place than it is first, but it did move up in my language priorities. Um, so if we take a look at a more detailed breakdown of the reviews that I did, you can see that Japanese, it's a little bit actually behind like Turkish and Croatian in terms of number of reviews. Um, it's just above Arabic. So third place is actually where it would be. Um, Now, I was, at least in the first update, I had four main languages that I was studying. There was Croatian, Turkish, Arabic, and Cantonese. And then I had Mandarin as a second tier language. Um, I moved down Cantonese and Mandarin and replaced Japanese as one of my top languages about a month ago. So I'll be doing a lot more Japanese. The application just needs a lot more work in Japanese than it does in Cantonese. Um, and so, yeah, I'm excited to be learning that one. Plus, I was mainly going with Cantonese because it's a language that I have no familiarity with, where I have some familiarity with Japanese, and I wanted to try and learn languages that I had no familiarity with as my top languages. But I can add one in there. It's not like I was able to read, write, speak, or understand Japanese. So I don't think it's corrupting the test. Um, and yeah, I was just much more excited about Japanese. It needed more work. And so it got moved up. Anyways, let's see. Is there anything else? So yeah, they're mostly studying these ones. Then there's a whole second rank of languages that I'm getting quite a decent amount of exposure to. Then there are the smaller ones, things like Sanskrit, Welsh, and Greek, and Estonian is probably on here as well. It's probably maybe the pink one over here. Yeah, Estonian's catching up now that I have some more sentences in it, some more expressions. Um, those are getting more than the ones that are getting the least out of languages that I'm maintaining. So there's French, Dutch, Italian, Portuguese. Oops, let's go back to season. Spanish. Spanish isn't a language I speak, but it's a Romance language. So because these ones are such prevalent languages, they're such well resourced. I don't do many reviews in them, but hopefully next language update there'll be more reviews on them, and I can give you more of an update on them. I have been doing some comprehensible input. So I every evening I try to watch either a French or an Italian TV show. My comprehension is not quite good enough to understand it, but it's good enough to follow along. Um, so yeah, for every my goal is for every hour I put into phrasing, I also do an hour of comprehensible input. Given that I'm doing less than an hour a day of phrasing, I'm probably doing even less comprehensible input at the moment. That's literally like as I'm falling asleep, and I fall asleep half the time through it. So I maybe get 20 minutes a day of comprehensible input in either French or Italian at the moment. All right. So, what I'm going to do today is just do some reviews, record it, share my thoughts, try to talk about things. I've done this before, and it always goes very poorly, because trying to make a video recording is hard enough, but then throw on top of that, you're also trying to do reviews, and you're also trying to remember. Um, but that's I guess that's the name of the game. It's a skill that I'll try to get better at. So I'll try not to make it too rough for this first one. I'm also very excited today because I had roughly, let's see if we go to Croatian. I'm not sure where it is now, but I had roughly 70% recall in Croatian. It looks like I've got it now, moved down a little bit. Um, so I added some new Croatian sentences, which I've been waiting to turn on for this video. You can already see the multitasking is taking over my talking. So I extracted these already, and if I come into here and I go to the checkout screen, I can check them out. Just need to add a couple of these. So these are from the poem If by Rudyard Kipling.
Ili, ako te mrze,
And just a couple more. And yeah, one more. Perfect. So hopefully these pop up in the reviews and I can show you kind of where I'm at with my Croatian, though, because since they'll be brand new sentences to me. I have not studied them. I just extracted them yesterday and then I paused them to make sure that I didn't get any reviews so that they would pop up today. And I feel like Croatian is the language I'm making the most realistic progress in. Like I feel like I'm making the most normal language progress. That's probably the word that I would say. And I'm starting to kind of understand cases and words, and it's starting to feel quite familiar. All the sounds, all the different ways that they conjugate things. I haven't had it all memorized. I don't have it all memorized yet, of course, because let's see, in my entire usage, I've spent. Oh, well, that should really be hours. 1,000 minutes. I don't want to have to do math. Uh, uh, yeah, no, I'm not going to do math when I'm recording. It's remarkably difficult when you're recording something. But not so much time with Croatian. And anyways, we'll jump off. Ooh.
بالقلب għaliex it-tagħlim huwa importanti.
So this is multi-sentence Ednitalam, but I keep spelling this one wrong. I know it's Ednitalam. I don't think it's an AM at the end. Nah,
Qed
it's an
nitgħallem
EM.
bil-qalb għaliex it-tagħlim huwa importanti.
So if we look down here, let's see. It's the present progressive indicative form of ta'alam. It seems like it might just be a singular. Let's see, and the root Adam. Okay, that's just the root then. And yeah, I guess the root changes for plural. That's Semitic words. They just change the vowels and the placement of the vowels when it goes into plural quite often. So I guess I just have to. I was trying to see if em is like a suffix, but I guess that's just the word alam. I keep messing up that spelling. I'll move on.
klasifikacje Zmajeva, klasa udara, klasa stracha, klasa...
So, yeah, this one, I just got this wrong yesterday. So if you see in the bottom right of the card, right next to the six dots, in the middle of the screen, it says AUX in these light letters. So it's an auxiliary review. This is one I got wrong yesterday. But so this is a word from I don't know. In my head I think of this as a second wave card, where I did the learning and then it got to the point where it was like a couple weeks in between. And I got it wrong, even though I knew the word, but I didn't know the ending to it. So it's fun because the when I'm just learning these words, I'm just trying to learn the spelling of them, learn the translation of them. This one was really easy, the translation, obviously. But and I got the spelling, learned it, and went into review. And then when it came back, now I'm like, okay, why did I get this wrong? Okay, this is mysterie. That's the singular genitive feminine form. The base form is mysteria, then the genitive form is mysterie, and so that's what I'm doing with these, is just trying to learn the why is it spelled this way, not just getting the vowels right now, but now that it's been a couple weeks. So what I'm trying to say is that don't worry about this in the beginning when I'm learning the word, when I'm, when there are intervals are like one day where I'm getting it wrong over and over. I'm not trying to remember everything at once. I'm just remembering the sounds. How can I identify it? How can I remember it? How can I spell it correctly? And now that the word is much stronger memory, I didn't get it right because I didn't understand the grammar. Now's a good time to come in and explore the grammar on this.
Hayır, hayır, hayır. Çünkü köpek kuralı. Çünkü bu köpecik inanılmaz. İzle bunu. Abergart, git. Kulakların duymuyor mu?
All right. Forgets. This is a new word yesterday. Uyunu. Uyunu. Yeah. Let's see. Is forgetting. He forgets second or third person. I don't know. Uyulu. That's not it. But you'll see in a second. Oh no, that was supposed to be Y. Uyulu.
Hayır,
No.
hayır, hayır. Çünkü köpek kuralını unutuyor. Çünkü bu köpecik inanılmaz. İzle bunu. Abergart, git. Kulakların duymuyor mu?
Unutuyor. Yeah. So this comes from unutmak, to forget, which means. So if we look at so that's just the normal uyor. Okay. That's then, it's very it didn't save in my head as the stem because it was with a U. I just remembered a bunch of U's in a row. But I know this stem as Eor with the I, but because of vowel harmony, of course, it changes. And my brain is not used to that at the moment, so I don't associate it. Okay, so unut mek is the root, and then uyor is the progressive form. So that's actually very easy. Unut. I just need to remember unut. Forget.
А що сада? Штуцавче? Іспит сутра. Знаєш, да ćeš morati ubiti zmaja.
アウラにとって絶大な魔力を持つ彼女には、
それやの魔法です。それを対抗する方法はないのですか?
Yeah, I generated terrible audio for my Japanese sentences. I should have probably fixed this before recording. I'm trying out new voices, and I did not like this one. As you can tell, it sounds like an angry demon. So that one will not be used. But muteki, one thing that I normally do a lot with this, especially when I get words wrong, is I will repeat. I'll like talk along with the audio, but because there's a delay between the microphone and the recording of the phone, I can't do it in sync, and it sounds horrendous. So I'm not going to try it here. I should actually probably be trying to say these sentences though. Yeah, I guess I'll do that in future ones. The Japanese ones I struggle with saying the full sentence. Let's see what we have.
力を持つ彼女には、それや無敵の魔法です。
それは無敵の魔法です。それは無敵をそれは無敵の魔法使いです。魔法使い？魔法です。魔法です。So one thing that there was a lot of work to get this to work in Japanese. Let's see what we have here. それは無敵の魔法です。This makes it a lot easier to read the sentence as well because I can see everything on here. 俺にとって絶大な魔力を持つ彼女には、それは無敵の魔法です。それを対抗する方法はないのですか? So I was struggling a lot to understand Japanese because there are all these little words that all kind of connect, obviously. And if you read, so just the English underneath that object opposed method topic not explanatory is question. That didn't really mean much. I know it's really hard to approach this language and understand how this all works. So largely for Japanese, I built this way to view it as these collection of phrases. So here we have a way to counter it. Is there none? And it breaks it up into these smaller pieces that are hopefully more understandable. We'll dig into more of that later. I want to get to some
Soyları
non-auxiliary
tükendi mi?
reviews.
Ang, bu benim büyükannem. Bana büyükannem.
Değilim.
Soyları tükendi mi? Ang, bu benim büyükannem. Bana büyükannen deyin.
So it's the form of the verb demek. Deyin. Day is the root. All right.
Отпор те сопира за да не започнеш, но твоя го надминува денес.
These are still all auxiliary reviews from yesterday. Храброст.
Отпорот те сопира за да не започнеш, но твоята храброст го надминува денес.
So this one I'm going to mark as correct. I do, especially if I make a typo. I'm not too worried about typing 100% correctly. Autocorrect would have caught that if I was typing, but man, especially because the ve and the be are so close to each other on the Macedonian keyboard. So if you don't speak Cyrillic, this kind of squirrely thing is the B. Let's see if I can select just the B. The start of that word, that's a B. Hrabrust. And then what I typed in here, this letter is a V. So hravrust. But what looks like a B to an English speaker is actually a V. And then the squirrely thing is a B. And they put them right next to each other on the keyboard. So I get that wrong all the time. But I'm aware of the difference. So we're marking that one as correct. Hrabrust.
の角、うちでは取り扱ってないよ。Отпорот
Отпорот te sopira za da ne započneš, no tvoja hrabrost go nadminuva denis. And Dennis was today. Interesting. Why is it? Din makes sense for day, but why is it Dennis this day? What was I going to say about this? This comes from the War of Art. Normally I have the attribution in the top left. I don't on closed words because there's just always so much more information that needs to be shown there. So we need to redesign it to show the attribution on closed words. Ankoku, it's not going to play the audio. So this one is Ankoku. Ankoku ryu no tsuno toriatsukatte nai no. Oh, uchi de wa toriatsukatte nai yo. Then Ankoku ryu jitai. Then I don't know my numbers. Let's see, let's input this. So it's really fun to input the Japanese sentences. I love the keyboard. Ankoku.
暗黒竜の角、うちでは取り扱ってないよ。暗黒竜自体、20から30年は見てないね。
And this one is also mite nine. I've got so many different forms with this mi character. I need to get better at them. It's kind of like the first variance of a word that I'm getting in Japanese is with this me character. Anyways, yeah, this one is one of the first sentences I was learning. This one also has a lot of issues with text-to-speech software, so I studied this one a lot to get it correct, to make sure the text-to-speech software is working. Yeah, I wanted to see the characters for this. So we have dark and gloomy, and Goku black. So it's like dark black, darkness, black dark. Together, these characters signify the concept of profound darkness, the absent of light. Yeah. Anyways, cool.
Hayır, hayır, hayır. Çünkü köpek kuralı. Çünkü bu köpecik inanılmaz. İzle bunu. Abergard, git. Kulakların duymuyor mu?
No, so this is what I mean where my memory, especially short-term memory on these, is horrible. So I remember this was an Uyghur, progressive tense. I think it was Unuk. Unukuyur? I don't think there's a K in there.
Hayır,
Evet.
hayır, hayır. Çünkü köpek kuralını unutuyor. Çünkü bu köpecik inanılmaz. İzle bunu. Abergard, git. Kulakların duymuyor mu?
All right, so I'm just going to mark that as remembered, not because I would normally if I was doing reviews, but so that it doesn't pop up again during this video, or if it does,
自
it
然に
takes,
従うことで心の知恵が得られます。
that it takes much longer to see it again. You don't need to watch me struggle over remembering which consonant is on there when I'm recording. So I just added some Taoist quotes in Chinese, Cantonese, and Japanese. And so this one pops up. This one was also kind of fun because it's Hey On.
自然に従うことで心の平穏と知恵が得られます。
Interesting. So I got the spelling right. What? The reading right. I don't know. I actually don't know how Japanese people would talk about that. But I selected the wrong characters. I am actually going to mark that one as correct because if you see if I mark it as correct, the memory strength is still hours. It's a very new word, and the fact that I got the right reading and I just didn't get the characters, I just saw this word for the first time yesterday, so I'm not worried about getting it perfectly correctly. I remembered the sounds. That's what counts. Let's see what these characters are. So, Tukanji hira flat, because there's another sentence that I'm learning. Heiwa jitai no, like it's a peaceful era. Was it Heiwa Jitai? Heiwa na Jitai? I think Heiwa na Jitai. Could have been Heiwa no Jitai. But anyways, it has this first Hei character, so that's why I remember that one. And I just remembered all from yesterday. That means flat, even, and calm. Okay, it does look like a very flat, even, and calm character. Let's take a look at this second character, though, because it's more interesting. We have the we have the grain on the left. Yeah, some of the, I need to get a better font to display this because some of them do not display correctly in the browser. Okay, we'll have to look at this bigger. We have the heart down at the bottom, and we have the claw up at the top. I guess this is just rest, calm, all the way on the right. We have the claw at the top, then a sun-ish, and then the heart. Interesting. I'll have to look into that later with a better font. But hey.
قلعة هوجوارتس مليء بالسحر والغموض.
And this is also probably a good test because this is a new sentence. I cannot say it at all. So let's listen to me struggle. That's what you're here for, right? I don't have a way to play the full sentence audio in this screen. I should do that. Anyways, we'll listen to it first, and then I'll see if I can repeat it.
自然に従うことで心の平穏と知恵が得られます。
Ooh. 自然に従うことで心の平穏と知恵が得られます。I mean, I have to read it with the Romanji, but I didn't even.
自然に従うことで心の
自然に従う ことで。Nice.
平穏と知恵が得られます。
知恵が入れられます。入れられます。入れられます。Is this, wow, 入れられます. If we look into this word, it's interesting. That's just because this is, oh no, that's uraremasu. So, yeah, urareru. Is the verb for can obtain. Yeah, euru is to obtain. Japanese loves their short root words. But yeah, so new sentence, very hard for me to speak. Where this is a sentence I'm more familiar with.
قلعة هوغوارتس مليء بالسحر والغموض.
This is such Gala. So I can't do the gulf sound, and I can't really do the ein sound. So this first, what's on the right is the guf, and this is the ein character. Gala to Hogwarts hier Meken un Malay. Gala to Hogwarts hier it is Meken, right? Meken.
قلعة هوغوارتس هي مكان مليء بالسحر والغموض.
بالسحر والغموض. بالسحر والغموض. والغموض. Yeah, I thought I remembered this sentence better.
قلعة هوغوارتس هي مكان مليء بالسحر والغموض.
قلعة هوغوارتس هي مكان مليء بالسحر والغموض. And yeah, this is a new word. This word at the end I have not yet learned.
Alpalisitalim huwa importanti.
Did I save this information? Nitalem.
Et nitallem bil-alpalisitalim huwa importanti.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ता न्याय हि महिषाः.
So this is my. Oops. Gain. No.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ता न्यायेन मार्गेण महि महिषाः.
So this is Sanskrit is a fun one because there's so many of these different things where if you see this is broken down by letters, if it will select over here, and you can see that if you combine this R with this G with this vowel, then it creates this whole other character, and it's 3 characters all in one. You can see some influences of you can still see like the vowel and you can see the G, but then the R just becomes like a little, I don't know. There are all these different combinations. I feel like there are hundreds of them. I haven't counted or looked it up. And I've just been learning them kind of one by one. It tells me how to spell it. I type it in and I'm learning to read and write Devanagari just through exposure, not any direct studying of the alphabet, just by studying the words.
練習を繰り返すということは、つながることである。練習を繰り返すということは、上達につながることである。
Soyları tükendi mi? Ang, bu benim büyükannem. Bana büyükannem
değil. No. You can call me. So it'd be Dayin. I wanted to say Dayil.
Soyları tükendi mi? Ang, bu benim büyükannem.
Benim büyükannem Dayin. Dayin. because IN is the second person form. Let's see, do we have it broken down here in the agglutination? Yeah, second person. Wrong highlight.
Μη χάνεις χρόνο. Τι πρέπει να είναι ο καλός άνθρωπος. Να είσαι εσύ.
So I added some Marcus Aurelius quotes, I believe, or Stoicism quotes in Greek and Italian because I thought that would be fun. And man, I struggle with Greek. I don't have enough time spent to it, and so I just added all of these sentences. And there's a lot of Greek. It's not one of my priority languages. I don't remember this
Μη
at all.
χάνεις χρόνο να συζητάς τι πρέπει να είναι ο καλός άνθρωπος. Να είσαι εσύ. Χρόνο να συζητάς τι πρέπει. Χρόνο να συζητάς τι πρέπει. Χρόνο να συζητάς τι πρέπει. Χρόνο να συζητάς τι πρέπει.
So normally when I'm learning a new word, I'll play it in that order, and then I'll just try to say it with the audio when it comes up. Sorry, not in that order. I'll press the button up at the top, and I'll play it on a loop, and I'll listen to it, and I'll try to say it. But because there's the delay, I'm not going to try to say it with the audio while I'm recording. It's horrendous to listen to. Συζητάς, συζητάς, συζητάς.
Χρόνο να συζητάς τι πρέπει. Χρόνο να συζητάς.
Χρόνο να συζητάς, χρόνο να συζητάς, χρόνο να συζητάς, χρόνο να συζητάς. Let's see if we can see some of this morphology. Mark for present tense, indicative mood, second person singular, which aligns with the subject you. Base form is συζητώ. Συζητάς, συζητώ, συζητάς, συζητώ, συζητάς. Συζητώ, συζητάς. Συζητάς. Okay, us as a second person singular, I feel like that's quite familiar to me. Συζητάς, συζητάς. There are so many ways to say spell the letter I in Greek. I'll never understand.
Na jednom zahukta sova. Njezin noćnu tišinu.
Na jednom zahukta sova. Njezin glas propara noćnu tišinu.
Na jednom zahukta sova. Njezin glas propara noćnu tišinu.
So this one, it's a shorter sentence. I've since shifted to much longer sentences because I feel like at this point I've just memorized the sentence. And you know, I get the words in there, and I always spell propara wrong, which should be, you know, I get the pro and the ara, but I'll do probata, propaya, you know, I'm always one letter off.
Hayır, hayır, hayır. Çünkü köpek kuralı. Çünkü bu köpecik
Has it
inanılmaz.
already been 12
İzle
minutes?
bunu. Abergart, git. Kulakların duymuyor mu?
Nutuyor, I believe is what this was. Yes.
Hayır, hayır, hayır. Çünkü köpek...
道は何も言わずともすべてことができるのです。
So you can see that voice is much better. Accomplish. Did this word come up?
道は何も言わずとも
I just
すべ
saw
て成
this
し遂げることが
error
できるのです。
for the first time yesterday. Oh, I should have taken it. I'll get a report about it. There's a button there to refresh the page, so I just click on refresh. But I should probably write that down for 817. Look for the error. Fix it. I have an example recorded yesterday. 817 error. We haven't seen any of the new Croatian cards, which is what I was so excited about for this
Isto ili.
Isto veo. I want to say neprirodno, but I think that's the Croatian one. Neetiketili.
Isto veo neetiket naitili.
Yeah, and then neprirodno. Ha. The word neetiketni. So, I mean, this is one of the one of the big challenges with learning multiple languages is crossover, interference, getting things mixed up between different words. One of the reasons I got so excited about learning Lithuanian is because of how much of it was familiar, just from learning the tiny bits of Croatian that I did for probably a month or two on phrasing before uh, hearing Lithuanian for the first time. And like I just recognized all these little bits, and it's so different. Like it's not like these are mutually intelligible at all. Um, but there's a lot of similarities across it, and it's a lot of fun to see. And yeah, like studying these sentences where they're the same thing, you will get things mixed up a little bit. But if you get them mixed up when you're studying, and then you practice and you mark things wrong when you get them mixed up, and you practice identifying them and distinguishing, differentiating between them, then you'll just get better at it. It's just a skill that you have to work on. And so here I saw this and like, yeah, naturally, I want to say nepirodno, but that's Croatian. So, I got some Croatian review as well, trying to remember that. And then I knew that was wrong. I'm learning that's wrong. And you remember the correct word. Yeah, so I haven't had really any issues with crossover. I get very few cards wrong because I think of the wrong word, and when I do, I just mark it as wrong because that means I need more practice. Differentiating it, this time I got it right, although my pronunciation was terrible. I think I also said nitiketinai, nitiketitai or something, not with an N, but I realized as I was typing it that it needs to be an N as you go word by word. Istoveo nitiketinai tili.
Istoveo neįtikėtinai tyliai.
Istoveo, etiketinai tili, nai tili,
Jis stovėjo neįtikėtinai tyliai.
etiketinai tili. I'm just getting used to this. There's a lot of like AI and IAI, and it's very hard for me to remember which one makes which sound. Etiketinai tili, which you kind of just pronounce the first vowel in that chain, which I don't think is technically correct, but that's kind of how I need to remember it. The one that starts with an I has more of an I sound. It shouldn't be that complicated, but for some reason it is. There's another sentence that will probably come up where there's a lot of like trumpais, kardais, a lot of ice, and that doesn't help because in English, ice starts with an I, but then the sound is written in Lithuanian as an AIS, and then is the one with an IAIS. But like I hear ice and I think and I think that's part of the source of my confusion.
Μη χάνεις χρόνο.
Oh God.
Πρέπει να είναι ο καλός άνθρωπος. Να είσαι εσύ.
So when I'm doing Greek words and I'm learning them, I get them wrong 4, 5, 6 times in a day, probably, when I first see them. I get them wrong a lot. And eventually they stick. Like you can only get it wrong so many times before your brain starts to save information about what it is.
Μη χάνεις χρόνο να συζητάς τι πρέπει να είναι ο καλός άνθρωπος. Να είσαι εσύ.
So yeah, but with closed words, you just keep getting it wrong. If you notice that you keep getting it wrong, maybe the third or fourth time you're still not getting it, then I would highly recommend, come in here, delete it all. Try not to look anywhere, although you can. It's not like cheating to look. But just the act of typing it in. So like doing it correctly will form some level of muscle memory as to where these characters are, looking for them. I don't know. It's like writing something down by hand. I mean, that's the best way to remember it. If you're really struggling, have a notebook next to you, write it down by hand. You'll remember it even better. But second best is just like typing it, and eventually you'll get it down, and then it'll work its way into your long-term memory.
道は何も言わずともすべてことができるのです。
Also, I make no claims to be able to be making any claims on speaking Greek, so I don't think I can say this sentence whatsoever.
Μη χάνεις χρόνο να συζητάς.
Μη χάνεις χρόνο να συζητάς
Τι πρέπει να είναι ο καλός
Τι πρέπει να είναι ο καλός
άνθρωπος?
άνθρωπος?
Να είσαι εσύ.
Να είσαι εσύ. Να είσαι εσύ. Να είσαι εσύ. Yeah, it's a very, very slow language for me. That's one of the ones that I would consider myself just dabbling in. Just getting some exposure to it, getting used to the language, the sounds, all of those different things, all of these little tiny words. Oh my God. Like this phrase, let's see what this phrase is. Nice AC, nice AC. I split it up. Gee dang it. Let's see. The ha. This is something I don't think most people would know. Like if you see these sentences, they're all aligned across all languages. This is what's called an universal alignment in the application. And so, or maybe I call it global. Let's see what I call it. Yeah, global. So there's a local alignment, like a local split for each one that's specific to the language that makes it the biggest, the most normal chunks. And then these are not the most normal or helpful chunks. They're just the most universal chunks. Be yourself. Yeah. So to you, you. To you, you are you. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. But to you are you. It means be yourself, be you. Nice AC, nice AC, nice AC, nice AC. There's so many of these words in Greek where I don't understand. But I'm getting small exposure to it a little bit at a time. So many of these things. Oh man, I did not save this information whatsoever in my head. I know we just saw this a little while ago. No, I got distracted by another word. No, that was a different sentence.
道は何も言わずとも、すべてを成し遂げることができるのです。
Interesting. I wonder if that's if there's something wrong with that sentence. And I saw it yesterday and got it wrong. Well, that makes that error easier to find. Yeah, it's funny. I don't normally have any errors whatsoever. Just got the first error for the first time yesterday. Now it's happening a bunch, but I guess it's just that sentence. Also, my load times are atrocious because of how much I use the application. For most people, they're instant, and it's going to take about 6 months until the load times are this bad for anybody. And by that time, I should have the load time problem all fixed. So I am suffering to make sure that other
Становањето
people don't
професионалец значи
practice.
практикување на креативноста без оглед на расположението.
This was one of my favorite sentences because I learned these different words like one at a time. Let me fill it in just so I get the study fund. Ooh. So this is the hardest word for me in the sentence because I always forget these order of the words. Sikoidnievno. I think sikoidnievno.
Станувањето професионалец значи секојдневно практикување на креативноста без оглед на расположението.
So this one I was studying one word at a time, and a lot of these are really long words. Станиването, разположението, практикување, креативноста. Like I know those words, or I mean, they're cognates. Професионалец, практикување, креативноста. But they're very long and they're weird spelling, and there's a lot. And at some point, I was going through the sentence, and I entered in this word, and I'm struggling with these and getting these wrong like 5, 6, 7 times in a day, and eventually they're just kind of like moving on. I'm going through each word in here, and then at some point, I get to a point where I think I was filling in станиването, and I'm like, wait. Професионалец значи секојдневно практикување на креативноста без оглед на расположението. I know all these words. Whoa, I know this whole sentence. And then in my head, I could kind of parse it out. It got to the point where I was familiar enough with all of these words to put them all together to form the sentence. So even if I go to another card, станиването професионалец значи станиването професионалец значи секојдневно практикување на креативноста без оглед на расположението. So I can repeat the whole thing. My accent is horrible. I think I've only done like max 3 months of I think maybe I had just started adding Macedonian when I did the first language log. Um, but like I'm not just repeating random words. Like I actually know what those are, and I can form the sentence. Like I couldn't form the sentence by myself, like recreate it. But I'm actually saying a sentence. Like I'm saying words that have meaning, and doing my best to pronounce them. And it was a really cool like uh, curtain unveiling of, I struggled for this for just like months with these sentences. Um, and then all of a sudden they made sense. And it was a cool. I'll see if I can find. I made some screen recordings of it to share with friends. Um, I'll see if I can remember to include those. Uh, oh yeah. So let's see if I can remember this. Συζητάς. Hey!
Πρέπει να είναι ο καλός άνθρωπος. Να είσαι εσύ.
Awesome.
道は何も言わずとも、すべてことができるのです。
Yeah, it's really annoying that this card is now going to fail. I wonder if there's anything I can do to make it not fail. Well, I can at least get some of the words by doing hints. It's still going to fail when I hit reveal. I have a feeling I know why.
道は何も言わずとも、すべてを成し
But it's really annoying that that's going to keep coming up every roughly 4 minutes. Yeah. Shoot, I forgot about that last night. I'm probably just fetching the wrong translation from somewhere. It's an easy thing to fix. This is the thing that I was talking about. Trampajska dais yra apskritaiska Žinijski dais is dažytas juodais simbolis. This is really hard for me to get the ice and the is in the correct words. Aplinki Aplinki. I want to see Botany up. That's Raven. That's from another sentence.
Aplink dvylika urgalų su trumpais kardais ir apskritais geležiniais skydais, išdažytais juodais simboliais.
Sudeo? Sudeo. I don't think that's right, but one of the things that I always try to do is, even if I have a guess,
Aplink jį sujudėjo 12 urgalų su trumpais kardais ir
I always try to enter in the guess. It'd be always better to fill in an answer than to not fill something in. Suyuteo. Comes from mutity, to move, with the prefix suyudeo. Aplink you suyudeo dvilika urgulus trampais kardais ir apskritais geležiniskydais išdažytais juodais simboliais.
kui tööriistad on hästi valitud, peab olema nauditav ja inspiratsiooniallikas kogu meeskonnale. kui tööriistad on hästi valitud, peaks arendamine olema nauditav ja inspiratsiooniallikas kogu meeskonnale.
Yeah, that's when I can't say anything. Kui tööriistad on hästi valitud, peaks arendamine olema nauditav ja inspiratsiooniallikas kogu meeskonnale. Estonian is one of the very low languages of mine. This is one of them also just barely dabbling in. I just started adding like more sentences to it. And it's taken me forever to remember the word arendamine. Oh my God. It's just the order of the consonants, the flow of the language, I do not have down pat yet.
Selle paindlikkusega võib arendusmeeskond liikuda kiiremini, eksperimenteerides julgelt ilma loovust ohverdamata ja pidades silmas pikaajalist.
Kvaliteti.
Ilmas pikaajalist kvaliteeti. Ilmas pikaajalist kvaliteeti. Ilmas pikaajalist kvaliteeti. Silmas pikaajalist kvaliteeti.
Qualiteetti.
Silmas pikaajalist kvaliteeti. Silmas pikaajalist kvaliteeti. Silmas pikaajalist kvaliteeti. Silmas
So it sounds like the two I's in that word are actually pronounced slightly differently. I'm not sure if this is the text to speech or that's actually the word, but qualiteti. Qualiteti. Yeah, should be an easy enough word to remember. Let's move on.
Oko njega se uskomešaše 12 urgala s kratkim mačevima i okruglim štitovima oslikanim crnim znamenjem.
Gelezhnis is Lithuanian. This one is Zelyanin.
Oko njega se
Železnim.
uskomešaše 12 urgala s kratkim mačevima i okruglim željeznim štitovima oslikanim crnim znamenjem.
Now this one I'm probably just going to mark as struggled. Just because I know that my recall of this word is quite low, and I don't need to see this word that many times in my reviews. I don't need to keep seeing it more and more. I'll eventually get the spelling of it correct. I'm not too worried about that.
道は何も言わずとも、すべてことができるのです。
So this is the one that will crash. I'm so curious what the bug is for this, but
道は
and we still haven't seen any of the new Croatian sentences. So I think I might just exit. I don't think we've seen any Chinese sentences either, which is a shame. But
Ve
Yeah,
benimle
the-
asla konuşmazken git
oh yeah, great sentence to end on. Let's go into the profile, go into Croatian and see these sentences. So ako možeš zadržati mirkac i okolo tebe gube svoje I optužuju za to tebe. I think za is with, to tebe is you. I don't know what to is. I'm not looking at the definitions. I guess you just have to trust me on that. I know if možeš is you can. Zadržati mirkad svi, I want to say is like all or something like that. Okolo tebe is also you. Gube svoj your I optužuju opportunities probably with you. Is this the one where it's like yours and all the world is yours and everything that's in it? No. If you can keep your head up. Okay, let's see what I got wrong then. Keep peace. God, svi, okolo. Okay, so this is everyone, not everything. God win. Yeah, okay, I should have known that one. You. Gube, lose. One's own. Svoi. Yeah, so his or her. Svoi. Yeah, not your. I think I said your here. It's his or hers or the one's own if you're being indirect. Accuse. Oh. For that you. Okay, yeah. Za to tebe. Yeah, when they're blaming it on you. So obviously these are not direct translations. These are poetic interpretations. If we come up here into the shapes and blame you for it. So it's more like if you can keep your cool when everyone around you loses theirs and blames you for it. Okay, so that one's actually pretty close. Ako se možeš. This is like a reflexive pronoun that I don't think it's technically reflexive. I don't know the grammatical terms for this word, but Croatians love to use se to make things indirect. Pouzdati Usekad, win, again, everyone. Drugi is like things, I think. I'm assuming that's just another form of things. Sumanyu utebe ali or e and rasmotriti. Rasmotriti. Oh, I know rasmotriti. Or I know I've seen it, or a similar word not coming to me. Near sumnichenye, nihovo sumnichenye. No, this one I don't know, so let's see. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. What does match consider? What are some other words for, how can I, resmotriti, if I open up here. Yeah. Interesting. I'm curious what some other translations are for resmotriti. I have them, I need to fix the dictionary as well. I'm moving everything over from version 1 to version 2 of expressions. So hence there's still little hiccups. Ako możesz czekati, a nie umoriti. I want to say that's like to die. But I don't think it is. Why? No, moriti is to live. Yeah, that's why that sounds familiar. And related to life. Well, moria is why it sounds like death. Se czekaniam ili ako laju. Nate samne legati. I am, I believe, ne not lagati. I don't know. So let's find out. Let's see. If you can tired and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Umoriti is to lie? I wonder if we come into the shapes here. Umoriti breaks down. Oops. Scroll going haywire. Did I break it down? It might be unrelated to morati, to live. That might be with an A, morati. Yeah, interesting. Akamojas chekati. Okay, so that's to wait and not be tired, like, and not tire oneself. This is the say where, like, it's not really reflexive, it's not really passive, it's not really indirection. I don't know what it is. Kind of all of them, kind of none of them. Chicken. Let's see. Wait. Oh yeah,
σε τσέκανε.
because there's tired and wait to not be tired by waiting. Laju. Oh, that's to lie. Neat. Sam is alone. Interesting, because like yasam is I am. Sam ne negati. Let's see how this breaks down. So don't lie to yourself. Use the reflexive emphasis sam to say yourself. Not tell lies to yourself. This was a quote-unquote official translation. I mean, I don't think there's a governing body that makes sure that the translations are real, but I just found it online. So I'm assuming that makes all, like, that's a good translation of it. Ili ako te merge ni biti Oh, this is hard to like. Sladan mržnjom, pa ipak ne izgledati odveč dobar, niti odveč mudro govorno. Ooh, I think I'm learning that govorno. Ili but ako te merge, if you merge. I'm just thinking mračno, which is dark. If you can, ne biti slavdan mržnom. So that's going to keep using that same word. Bah, this one drives me crazy. It just looks like the word for dad, but I can't ever remember what it means. And it means something so innocuous, but like it has such little meaning compared to such a non-specific meaning. I know it's a very general word. Ipekne izgledati. I think I'm actually learning a word like this in Macedonian. Izgleda. But it's not coming to me. Odvech dobar. Dobar is good. Odvech probably like from to come from here, maybe. I don't know what the vet should be, but od like odvochi is like to get away. Niti not you, odvech mudro govoriti. Okay. Oh, govoriti is to speak. Of course, yes. Of course. And what's this merge? They hate merjnom. Okay, I wouldn't have known those. Wow, those are intense words. Merjnom. It is ni nebiti. So biti is the to be infinitive. So not to be slada. Wow, I was really sladden by those consonants there. Pa ipak, so still. Pa ipak ne izgledati, to seem. Okay. Of two. What? Old. Okay, so like too much, not too as in as well. Let's see if we go into the shapes and read. Too excessively. Odd from. Okay, Vija and more. Oh, okay, Vija. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, so that makes sense then to me. Oh, sorry. I should probably highlight these things as I'm reading it. This is what I mean when it's hard to do all of these things at once. But I was reading down here. Normally, I try to break it down in the first paragraph, but I do have like a catch-all down here. In case there's other more important information, you can. This is kind of like a Hail Mary section, this additional information, where you can often find the breakdown of a sentence if you can't find it, or breakdown of a word if you can't find it in the top. Ako može sanjati, a ne učiniti snove svojim gospodarom. Gospodarom, ako možeš misliti, a ne učiniti misli svojim ciljem. Wow, yeah, I think this is just getting my mental battery is running empty because this is meaning absolutely nothing to me. This is like everything again. No, uchiniti, I wouldn't know what that is. Misliti, mislim. Yeah, this is meaning nothing to me. If you can dream and not make dreams, you're master. If you can think and not make things. Okay, aka može sanjati, a ne učiniti. Okay, so it's like to do. Snove. So sanjati is to dream, and snove is dreams. Gospodarom. Okay, I wouldn't have known that. Misliti. Yeah, mishlis. Yeah, what do you think of the misli? Yeah. And not to do thoughts of one's own goal. Okay, yeah, that's a very new sentence to me. Ako možeš suočiti spodjedom ili stražnom nevoljom i smatrati oba ta nameta potpunoma istim. Okay, that's just a cool word. Pulp completely. Okay. Pulp, no, I wouldn't have known that word at all. I just wanted to look that up because it was cool. Yeah, my brain is toast. Confront. Now I am looking these things up. Victory. If you can, this is one of my favorite lines from the poem. Victory or terrible trouble? Is that how they try translate disaster? Um, Fantastic. Or terrible misfortune. I guess that's a better translation of it. Smatri, oval, positions completely. Yeah, okay, I think it's we got one more. Might as well finish it. Ako możesz ispuniti nezaboravnu minutu 40 sekundi dujum terkom tvoje jon is zemlja i sve. Okay, so this is the everything and everything that is within it. I just know this line now. I picked up where we are, and this is the I know the English line of this poem. I don't know what tu is doing here at the end, but tvoje, I don't know what zemlja is. But I know the rest of this, so I can kind of piece it together. Yours is the world and everything that's in it is probably the English translation. I'm trying my hardest not to look at these things. And everything that there is in, but like I don't know the word to. I'm just trying to fill this in. Let's look there. Okay. And Jemila is country. Yours is the country. Interesting. Ako możesz ispuniti nezaboravnu minuti. Okay, yeah. Minuti 40, 40 minutes. Sekundi dujum, seconds, dujum terkum. So I know the rest of the sentence in English. Mostly I'm trying not to think of it, but I don't know. Dujum terkum. So long race. Okay. Yeah, so let's get shapes for this one because I think it'd be interesting. If you can fill an unforgettable minute. That's an interesting use of words there for the translation. Because I believe in the English translation it's unforgiving. I wonder if that's a bad translation or if that's a just how they decided to translate it. Anyways, an unforgettable minute. 40. Let me read actually. An unforgettable minute is a noun phrase. Unforgettable, memorable. The root of the word is brav, which is forgetting. So not forgetting. It seems pretty heavily, clearly, just not like unforgettable, not unforgiving. Unforgettable minutes, 40 seconds, with a long race. So why is this like in genitive or something? Tergom, instrumental form. Okay. With the cases, I took a semester or a year of German way back when, so like dative, accusative, and genitive. I don't understand them, but like they aren't foreign words to me. Vocative and instrumental and things like partitive and all these other new cases that I'm learning, they're so they don't save them in my brain yet.
Ako se možeš suočiti s pobjedom ili strašnom nevoljom i smatrati oba ta nameta potpunoma istim.
That was audio for another sentence. It's because there's all the cards are loaded behind this, and I need to fix that. Yeah. Okay. My brain is completely toast. I wanted to see how this all breaks down, but unforgettable minute, 40 seconds with a long race.
Ako se možeš suočiti s
Your country, all that is here. That's not a very good breakdown. But like the country is yours and everything that's in it. I'll have to look into this more later, but that's fun. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's pretty cool. This is, this is not a easy level. This is a full poem. This is, I would say, native level content, assuming it's all correct. I could have found a weird translation, but I was able to, understand a pretty good amount of that for such little time being put into Croatian, which I just think is really cool. And like start to understand the tenses, recognize different words, see different connections, despite the fact that most of this is all completely new to me. I couldn't figure out what the sentences meant if I needed to, but I could make my way through them and kind of like hear the pieces, see the pieces, and draw conclusions. So that is it for the language log number 2. There's still like so much that I want to go into with so many of my other languages, but that took very long, and I need to fix that Japanese bug before I could do more reviews anyways. And yeah, I will try to make another language log before the quarter is done. But knowing me, I'll probably just do one at the end of the next quarter. That'll be the longest. I'll try to do one. The goal is every month. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If you made it this far, thanks for watching all of this. Sorry for the struggles along the way. And yeah, peace.